Hello everyone, Marty Janeski here. And today, Ken's here in spirit as he's got a banquet to go to, family first, as we like to say. Today is the 24th, does that sound right? 24th of February? 25th. And you know what, it's gorgeous outside. I just want to say that. You see people out walking their dogs, people running around in shorts, all the guys that like to exercise, they're running around in shorts out there. And beautiful day, 55 degrees, all the snow's melting. We got a whole week of this comfortable weather with some rain. And what's happened in the last week since I was here, I'm going to try to make this last a half hour. I will say that Team USA took one on the chin there, that hockey game that went into overtime. It was a great game to sit and watch, I will say that. Getting two countries to play an exhibition game and put their bodies all out on the line was really fun to watch. And that's one way I enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody else did. We came on the short end of the stick there, but it was entertaining hockey, to say the least, and they'll probably do it again in a few years. Next year you get the Olympics, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to start with bowling because that's what I know most, and we had our regionals last weekend at Score Lane for the Division I, Region 8, which is where we lay. And on the boys' side, Peyton Webster from Wyandotte Roosevelt was the regional champion. He edged out Dominic Alescu from Woodhaven by 5 sticks, and they went back and forth. From Game 3 to Game 6, there's Mr. Webster with his coach Corey Coffey, head coach on the left, and I believe it's Donnie on the right. And but Peyton was the regional champion. He's bowled a solid block, 1331. He had games come out the gate with 245, shot 180, shot another 245, 238, shot 195. That's when Dominic passed him. And then shot 228 to leapfrog Dominic Beck and win the regional by 5 sticks. And it's really good. Belleville dominated in the team event, Wayne Memorial for the boys, Belleville for the second place, I think, or vice versa. Let me see, I got it right here. Belleville leaders, Wayne Memorial second place. For Belleville, they had 4 people in the mix there: Andy Folks, Carson Conley, Connor Sykes, and Jonathan Hatcher. John Crane from Allen Park was the man in the 8th spot that got stuck on the outside looking in. Shout out to Mr. Crane. He opened the scoring with a 299 game. Then unfortunately, his highest game after that was a 219, his only other 200, and he missed qualifying by 14 pins. So that's unfortunate for them. On the boys' side, though, Division II, overall, there were 18 individuals locally that qualified and 4 downriver area teams. New Boston Huron won their 4th region in a row in Division II at Westland Bowl. They took it to Carleton Airport was 2nd, so they're both going to the finals. Braden Siders, 10th grader, bowling for Carleton, shot 1,400, pair of 700s for the kid. And he won the region over there in Division II. Nicholas Sumanik, New Boston Huron, he was in 3rd place. And that's the only locals on that one. In Division III, that's not really a local division. Everybody, it's a lot of Flint Powers and Muskegon and Grayling and Elk Rapids, so we'll just skip that one. In Division IV, the boys from Allen Park Cabrini finished 2nd to Plymouth Christian Academy. And the qualifier in regional champion was Nathan Patton from New Haven. Allen Park Cabrini had a pair of bowlers qualify on the boys' side. Bryce Cataract and Matthew Dimitriou I know this name because I played hockey. My daughter played with Dimitruchina. That's it, Dimitruchina, 12th grader from Cabrini, and one more kid from Taylor Trillium, Levon Greenwade. Those three are moving on to the state finals. The state finals for Division II, I believe, are at the Super Bowl next week. Doesn't say. On the girls' side, well, I just want to say that the undefeated Lady Bears did not have their best day when it came to qualifying for the regional tournament, state finals, however you want to call it. We can blame the coach. I'll take full responsibility. I tease them that I don't throw the ball for them, but I will say it's my job to get them lined up. We had 3 days of practice at Score Lanes, and I really only got 3 of the 6 dialed in. And it showed. It showed that when we finally bowled on Friday morning, had a nice team breakfast, and we ended up having a poor set of Baker games. And it came down to the Bakers, because Belleville finished second to Yipson Alani Lincoln, who were solid all day. They shot 32.01. Belleville was 130 pins ahead of us. But we started out with the 4 Baker games in the 140s, and Belleville started slow with their Bakers. They had a 119 game, and they shot 190 game. But their last 3 were 210, 210, and 235. And our last 3 were 180, 180, 160. And we went into the team games aspect of it about 260 pins behind them. And we knocked off 130 of them in 2 team games, but that wasn't enough. And if you do the math, 130 some pins is 7.5 pins a game. And any bowlers out there know, that's carry 1 more hit, make 1 more spare. And any one of those Bakers, we were missing a lot of spares. I can't call it nerves because they've all been there before, but 2 of them, it was just a bad day to bowl bad. And unfortunately, we didn't. Now on day 2, the singles match, they bowled like the Lady Bears can bowl. Leading the way in the qualifying, Amber Spicer, actually from Belleville, led the way, and her dad Doug is a PBA guy, very good. He's trained his daughter well. She throws the ball well. But we had a qualifier from the Bears, Megan Murray, 2nd year in a row for Miss Murray, and she's only a 10th grader. She qualified 4th with a score of 10.57. Megan led the way. She had the highest score of the day before in the team matches, and carried it over, and really started slow. Started with a 140 game and 141, and looked like she was going to break down there. I had a little chat with her about, a long way to go. Let's get all the pins we can. Let's throw the ball like you did in practice. We had her lined up pretty good in the 3 days of practice. And she got to move over a pair. And she went 183, 188, 192, 161, 192. And there wasn't a 200 game amongst all the girls in the first game. And actually, Ellie Eisenegger, another Lady Bear, was in 5th place, after 3 games. In 1st place after 1. So Megan Murray qualified. We had Diamond Pastorius from Woodhaven. She finished 5th. And the other local girl, Aria Ragland, doing her 2nd year in a row from Taylor. She shot 10.26, snuck into the 5th spot. And Jordan Barnett, the Allen Park has something in common because she finished 8th. She was 18 pins out of the number. and that's always painful. But she never had a game lower than 150, so she was pretty consistent the whole time. Like I said, Ypsilanti Lincoln and Belleville won our district, our division. A shout out to Tiara Henderson, a senior for Westland John Glenn. Westland John Glenn qualified again. That's one team that we battled all year long at tournaments. We got the best of them at one tournament, and they got the best of us at the end of the year tournament that we bowled at Thunder Bowl, the state's tune-up. So they're competitive. They got their girls in, and I just want to say Tiara throws the ball great, and I wanted to say congrats to her. In Division II, the Dearborn Divine Child, they had their qualifier at Westland Bowl, and Dearborn Divine Child led the way. New Boston Huron was second, but another downriver girl, Hannah Fiejo of Trenton, 12th grader from Trenton, and I know exactly who this is because we bowl them a lot, led the squad, was regional champion. So congrats to Hannah. New Boston Huron had Olivia Demnick finished fourth, and then the other local qualifier for the snuck into seventh place, shot a 202 game or a 208 game on her last game. Hannah Krolak, my buddy Justin's daughter, which the interesting thing about him coaching Woodhaven, and she bowls at Carlson, is he never gets to see her qualify for any of these state finals, which isn't fair. He did get to go to the team event because they bowled Thursday, Friday instead of Friday, Saturday. But he was at our event. They host our event, so Woodhaven was well represented at our event. And congrats to Hannah Krolak. We practiced today, the boys and girls from Woodhaven, and then Hannah joined us. We threw an hour and a half at Thunder Bowl. Our job's to get them dialed in at Thunder Bowl now this week. I got to get Megan dialed in, and Corey's got to get Peyton dialed in, and they can bowl this week pretty much as they want. In Division III, I just want to shout out to my buddy's daughter in Livonia Clarenceville who qualified. They were the high qualifier in Division III. They had to bowl out in Flint, but Caitlin Johnson is a 12th grader, and she throws the ball great. Her dad drills bowling balls for a living, and Caitlin throws the ball great. We've become good friends, her and our team, because that's another team, Clarenceville, that we beat in the first tournament of the year. And they came back and beat us at a different tournament down the stretch there. So in Region 4, again, New Haven and Allen Park Cabrini. Allen Park Cabrini qualified on the girls' side. Good for them because the boys are qualified, and they were practicing right next to us today at Thunder Bowl. Cabrini had three girls qualify, 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Justine Moore, Courtney Downham, and Morgan Frank, two 12th graders and an 11th grader, and the leading regional champion in the Division 4 qualifier was Sarah Brunel. And Sarah is a Taylor Trillium Academy student. So I want to say good luck to everybody at States. States for Division I are being held at Thunder Bowl Lanes. The team event will kick off at 8:30, and 8:30 on Friday morning. And they'll have bleachers up. It'll be packed in there. And then on Saturday, the singles and doubles for the boys and girls will start at 8:30, and they will bowl 6 games in singles, and they will take the top 16 to the match play. And the team event on Friday, they will bowl 8 Baker games and 2 team games, just like they're qualifying, and they will take the top 8 teams into a match play process, which is Bakers. And you got to win 3 out of 5. So you can get blown out by 100 pins in a Baker game. It won't even matter. You just got to win the next 3. So that's it for bowling. Good luck for everybody. We're going to go to girls hoops. I have a couple of scores in basketball. The boys regionals kicked off. From what I understand, the no surprise here, but the Wyandotte boys got beat by Allen Park 61-39. And Taylor defeated Southgate 62-60. That was District 19. So those teams are going to play tomorrow. The finals will take part. So Allen Park is going to play Riverview, and Lincoln Park, or Taylor got the right to play Lincoln Park. We discussed all that last week. In hockey, the same thing happened to the boys for Wyandotte. They lost to Temperance Bedford 5-2. Unfortunately, that ends their season. And Trenton moved on, won 9-1 against Adrian, so they're going to move on. But I have the pairings for the Downriver District playoffs for the girls, which start on March 3rd, next Monday. In Division I, District 17, Trenton is going to play Woodhaven. Now, again, every team gets into the playoffs now, and it's based on your power rankings, Michigan MPR, Michigan power rankings. So Trenton's going to take on 1-18, is going to take on Woodhaven. The winner of that game gets to take on Temperance Bedford, who's sitting there with a bye at 18-2. So they're anxiously sitting there with a bye like this. They can't wait. Then Carlson's going to play Monroe. Carlson was 16-4. Monroe's 10-10. And those two game winners will play each other. If I'm a betting man, Carlson's going to play Temperance Bedford for the championship. In District 18, hosted at Allen Park, we got a lot of local teams in that one. Southgate Anderson at 5-14 is going to play Lincoln Park at 5-13. That gives them the right. The winner of that game is going to play Riverview at 12-9. The other game in there is Taylor at 3-17, and then our Lady Bears for Wyandotte Roosevelt ended the season at 11-19. So they are going to play each other with the right to play Allen Park. And then the winner of those games, which I'm going to say right now is going to be, well, I don't know, the first one's a toss-up. Roosevelt's going to take care of Taylor, and they're going to have to take on Allen Park. And we'll see what happens. That's March 3rd. And then the games for Wednesday, March 5th. And then the finals will be Friday, March 7th. So next week, every Monday, you're going to have a prelim. Every Wednesday, you're going to have a semi. And then every Friday, you're going to have the finals. In District 19, Melvindale, without a win this year on the ladies' side, is going to play Edsel Ford 11-9. The winner of that game gets to play Dearborn. They're 10-9. And then you got Fordson playing Rouge, 8-13 against 8-9. So those 5 teams in that division, that's a pretty even, weak division, to be honest. But your MPR covers it all, and it's all about who you play. District 21, not a whole lot going on. That's Garden City, Westland, Wayne Memorial. We won't worry about that. District 54, New Boston Huron gets to play Flat Rock on March 5th in a semifinal. The only play-in game is Monroe Jefferson and Ida, and they're going to play Carleton Airport. So Huron and Flat Rock will play for the right to play in the finals. Another division here, Dearborn Heights versus Annapolis versus Robichaud for the right to play Romulus Summit Academy. And the other team in that division, the other game is Grosville versus Romulus. Grosville at 6-15, Romulus at the opposite, 13-5. So those two will play, and then the winners will play Friday. The only last division we have in here that really matters is the Detroit division. Detroit University Prep and Dearborn Henry Ford Academy will play each other for the right to play Detroit Edison, who are 13-5. And Cesar Chavez Academy and Detroit Voyager Prep, easy for you to say after a long day at work, they will play for the right to play Dearborn Advanced Tech Academy, who are at 17-1. So So on Friday, Detroit Edison and Dearborn Advanced Tech Academy will be playing each other for that district title. And then we have Allen Park Cabrini playing a play-in game against Detroit Leadership Academy. That's a good game. That's 12-6 versus 13-5 over at Richard School. And then Richard at 7-13 will play Taylor Prep, and the winner of those games will play. So those are your local downriver matchups for the ladies that are playing basketball this week. I got a couple of little tidbits, and we're going to make it to about 25 minutes if my wrestling. Let's talk grappling, as they call it. The New Boston Huron was the only school in the area to qualify to get to the state finals. They did the team state finals today, or this week, and next weekend, when we have our state bowling finals, they will be at Ford Field wrestling in the individual side. And we will have the bracket results when we can get them. Interesting that New Boston Huron did something that hadn't been done by a downriver school in years, and that was they won a quarterfinal match. Huron was able to race out to an early lead versus Linden. Wins from Nathan Matsos, Garrett Marente, and Drew Ladich. Finnegan Grube and Colton Marinette put the Chiefs up 23-6 through the first 6 weight classes. Then Linden, however, trimmed it down a little bit. But then the score ended up 45-24. The victory over Linden marked the first ever quarterfinal win for Huron, who came in seeded number 3 overall. And with their efforts on Friday, advanced to Saturday's final day of competition. Unfortunately, that was the end of the line for the locals. Number 7, Fowlerville. Encouraging start for Huron, as this article says. They got a major decision win from Ladich. Fowlerville, however, responded with wins in 6 of the next 7 weight classes, and they at one point had a 33-8 lead. Huron got pins from Jamel Banco and a decision win from Downs that kept them in striking distance, but it was too late. Huron, though, with their showing, this is a really amazing fact, but when I was younger, Huron was always strong. They were the first downriver-based school since to compete for the state finals for wrestling since Roosevelt did it in 2021. So we're only basically 4 years removed from our Bears getting into the state finals. And it's the first time a local school won their state quarterfinal round match since Trenton did so in 1993. So think about that. They were the first ones. They were the first team to get to the state finals since Roosevelt did it, but they were the first team to win a match at the state finals since '93. Hats off to the New Boston Huron wrestlers. That's a great showing. And one last thing as we wrap up. We had 2 undefeated school teams in swimming, Riverview and Trenton, in the regular season finale of the last 2 unbeatens. And the top 2 high school boys swim and dive teams in the area hooked up in a non-conference game to wrap up the regular season. And interesting, they had this at Seats Middle School. You would think Trenton would have, or Riverview would have a pool at their high school. Just things that make you go, It was last Thursday, and Riverview was standing alone. They were the only undefeated swim team downriver, thanks to a 104-82 win over the visiting Trenton Trojans. It was a wire-to-wire win. Riverview won 10 of the 12 events on Thursday, including each of the final 7 overall. And we're not going to go into the individuals because no one cares about swimming. No, I don't mean that. So as I wrap up, we will have Ken back next week. One can only hope. And I hope what I gave you was informative. I will definitely have the bowling results and the match play results. Hopefully Megan last year, it was her first year in that event. She finished middle of the pack. We expect more. Today we got her lined up a little bit. I've got 2 more days to get her lined up and throw the right piece of equipment. She's got 1 bowling ball. We really like the way it reacted on the lane. So all she'll have to do is execute over and over and over and over again. So as I said, today's February 25th. It's gorgeous outside. I'm going to get back out there, and I want to see everybody next week. I want to say hi to my mom, and that's it. I'll see you next week. I'm Marty, no Ken, and thanks for watching.